Tamo Guru Rana Mandala Ramiya Daya Me
Sanji
Soye Jonam La Jajo Badu Nani Jajo Je Dagi Juni Gibe Sonagi Jola Sanje Dubra Sho
Sanji
Jonan Soye Jonam La Jajo Badu Nani Jajo Je Dagi Juni Gibe Sonagi Jola Benje Sanje Dubra Sho
Sanji
Sogi Janam La Janjo Bandu Nani Jaso
Dagi
Juni Gibe Sonam Gi Dola Tenje Sange Jubara Sho
Daka Satavat Kare
Donglen Luna Gibe Tradition Chamba Ninja Haka Samba Yu Dona Sizo Chile Doye Chenju Sinju Domba Chingi Los Kawa Gija Maria Chare Dusum Gyawa Kungi Doje Lam De Chasa Namda Gese Domba Gyudam Shi Doje Tudu Sungila
Dagi
De Chamaria Dusum Gyawa Kungi Doje Namda Gese Domba Gyudam Shi De Dosa Teju Tudu Nyama Sungi Nyama Sunsare De La Paya Donglen Luna Gibe Yangju Sungi Nyama Chazarda Dusum Gyawa Kungi Doje Lamse Namda Gese Domba Gyudam Shi
Mada Titi Titi
Dusla
Titi Paji Kudu
What's up? Pajin Migu Wadin Luda Longshu Dusum Gezu Go to
Paji Labasi Nam
Alevasa. Seems like we are in verse number 80. Are we?
Yeah, 80.
80, right? 80 or 79? 80. Yeah. Dusum Gyawa Kungi Dwechilam.
Oh
Oh, yeah, 80.
Yeah.
That is Jawa Kunji
The Padre. The Padre.
Oh, you just said.
That Jusum said it. Jusum said it. David, no, baby. That is Jusum said. But Jusum Javasity, Jusum David Sancho.
Yes.
That Jusum said, Jusum Dema, that is Jusum. Java said, Sanjay, that David Duty Sanjay, Mohammed Duty Sanjay, that David Duty Sanjay, Jusum Java Kunji. And the time Javachi Belam the Carres and Jesse, somebody Namda Jesse, Udam Sheens.
Yes. Okay, now verse number 80. It says, restraining the mind with bodhisattva vows is the one path traveled to Buddhas of all three times. Anyway, in Tibetan text starts from the Tusum. Tusum means three times. That means future, present, and past. These are three times. So the Jawa means Buddhas. So Buddhas from the three times. It means Buddhas from the past time and the present and the futures. Okay. Kungi Döchi Lam here translated as it's one path. That's one path. Okay, so it's only one path. So one path is actually a restraining path of the practice. Only one practice that actually enables them to travel to Buddhahood. So there will be like a restraining the mind with the bodhisattva vows. That means the bodhisattva vows. Bodhisattva practicing or taking bodhisattva vows or practicing bodhisattva vows is the only path to get enlightened state. So it happened to the past Buddhas, and it's happening for the present Buddha, and it's going to be happening for the future Buddhas.
That is Jusum Sanjay tusu kangalo sanji le sala dreba chide ni dreba chide lam sete dreba chide ta lam ti karre sena tundu kangali sanji le sala dreba chide ni lam ti dreba chide lam ni namda kese tomba diresi kese tombe kvitam shense ati kese tomba sta kese cheba tere aje tula soba tusu.
So then the only here says the one path travel or path, only one path or the one practice, one method. That means one method to become a Buddha is the only is the Bodhisattva vows. Okay, practicing Bodhisattva vows because the past Bodhisattvas they become Buddha through that kind of practice, Bodhisattva vows. And the present Buddhas they're becoming Buddhas through that kind of practice. In future is going to happen same thing. So here is the Bodhisattva vows. What are the Bodhisattva vows? There are six parameters of the Bodhisattva vows or the Bodhisattva practice.
That is tabshi means tabbi paji tambunga puti tabji chari. And sherab paji di sherab charge. That tabshi mean the ten. Lam tashi mean the ten and sanje tamje ni ngazabalam to su tabshi mean in Yamsunan and sanje salan privilege. That is.
So sometime you hear that in order to become a Buddha, we need to rely on two methods. So two methods are the method of accumulation and method of wisdom, right? Wisdom. Okay. So if you look at these six parameters, first five parameters or the Bodhisattva way of life or Bodhisattva practices are the method aspect of the practice. And then if you look at the last one, it's called wisdom. So wisdom is the method aspect of the wisdom. And that's why sometimes we say, we need to rely on two methods that can be divided into two methods. Six parameters can be divided into two methods.
Tatine tikare sanje tamji 전주 초도 semke tamke ne sanje kuma to be amaris. Ta semke ne kache uresene joba keseri joba ne pajikula laguris. Dingin nena tabi chata ani shere ku changi bu tilakene ni sanje ke sara drogu de mishiji. Ni jure tabi amaris. Jesa joba jiba namse ati dire tabji chadile paji tambumadre. Shirab chadi paji shirab paji diye.
So then when we take Bodhisattva vows, of course there are two levels, so the aspiration level and the engagement levels, right? So when we just taking Bodhisattva vows is not enough to become a Buddha. And then in order to become a Buddha, you need to take engage bodhicitta. Engagement bodhicitta. Engage bodhicitta. Engage bodhicitta means you are decided to practice six parameters. Engaging into the practice of six parameters. So that's why when we engage into those practices, six parameters, six perfections, sometimes they call perfections. So the first five perfections are the method aspect of the practice, and the last one, the wisdom, perfection of wisdom, is the wisdom aspect of the method. So this is the only way or only gateway to get Buddhahood or enlightenment, to become a Buddha. There's no second method. There's no second path to get to be enlightened without relying on six parameters or six perfections.
Tati karidesina sanji sala chuguda sugu singiya chuguda sugus tabji chadigi sugu jere ani karesure ani karesure lam tabshi ni se karesa
Chuguniyores,
추수 주군이 가르쳤던데 이게 lam tembanis, lam tarsinis, she tembani lam shar, lam tarsinis, chusunis, karasara.
추수니.
잔다 추수nis, 여러분. 어디 제사 산지기 고반들 제다 구시야래. 구시는 군이 제비는 추구다 수고스 군이 구수 구시세제 군이 제는 추수 추구다는 그 수구제 구순제는 추구를 추구순제 구시에서는 네 농구 그구제 이시 추구제 뭐니 구스제 구시시게 단지 산지 꿈나세제 꿈나세는 니들이 남나도 소대 비시시가 나이가 들 꿈나세제 뒤에서 단데티 아니 산지 두순게 산지 탐제장 아니 산지가 살 저바 제발라 남 탑신이는 럭레스 탑신이 말로나 만제부 추수꾼이 도야매 제가 구순 우시 군이 치도 구순다 구시 간걸로 군이 난 되죠.
So why we have two methods of practice? So two methods like method aspect and the wisdom aspect. There are two kinds of practices required to become a Buddha, right? So because so Buddha has two main qualities, so that's why we need two methods, two different types of practices, or two different types of practices. Yes. Because the Buddha has two main bodies or two main kayas. One is called chuku. Chuku means dharmanakaya, or the what do you call this? Truth body. Yes, truth body. And then the suku, and the form body, or the rupakaya. Okay, form body. There are two aspects of Buddha. The Buddha has two aspects, two qualities, or like two aspects. That's why it requires two different causes. So then two different causes can be accumulated through the practice of two methods. Okay? And then why we have two methods of practice? Because there are two realities. True reality, and because of true realities, then we have two practice of methods. And through that kind of two methods of practice, their true reality can transformed into true Buddha nature, the Buddha nature or Buddha quality. So two bases are the conventional truth and the ultimate truth. Okay. So then if you look at the text, the classic terms for this, you will find like two on the basis, on the path, on the result. There are three stages. Okay, basis stages, and then the path stages, and the resulting stages. There are three things. It has like all the time. It has two qualities. All the time, two qualities. On the basis, there are two qualities. Two qualities are conventional truth and ultimate truth. On the method aspect, method practice, or the method, and then on the path, there are two practices: the practice of method and practice of wisdom. And the resultant, there are two: the truth body of the Buddha and the form body of the Buddha. That's what we have. All this actually kind of the what you call this? I don't know, because of the two bases, we have two practice and two resultant stages. Yeah. And then in order to achieve the two resultant of the Buddhas, then we need to practice the perfections. So then when we talk about Buddha, so there's sometimes you will see there are three kinds of Buddhas, four types of Buddhas, two types of Buddhas, three types of Buddhas, four types of Buddha, even like five types of Buddhas. So then all of these 5 types of Buddha can include or conclude or summarize sort of like into 2 kinds of the Buddhas. So that can be summarized in the form body of the Buddha and the truth body of the Buddha. Okay.
다티네 다티 다 수구 두지 가래 진바스 추dim 서바스 둔주 삼데스 티 나부티 수구 두지 두게 그래 세네다 안주 나란두 페네 롱주 나란두 진바타 담발 때는 롱주 표수도 용도가 롱주 용기여봐 진바타만 롱주 용알라 진바타 구기여봐 네 유iten티 토바치발라 이 추dim 수구기여래 아니 커르페슨 수가 용알라 네 서바 구기여래 서베냐네 그래서 상기 리살레티 바리 상기기 니 롱주 다바스니제 롱주 다바 상기기 사이 롱주가 롱주 연수도 같이 해봐 대비발라 진바고비야래 수구도 질레트야 되더리 아니 그래서 그래 상기기 사이 상기기 부수 아니 주발라 이 지금 뭐야 얘네 코르페스도가 전주선보다 더 많지 유아디 코르페스도가 주발라 아니 서바구리야 디구도가 다 준비해야지 강골어리야 진바탕을 진발로 준비주고야 봐 진바탕 추림 순주에 주주고야 그 세바 공제 준비고야 어디니 3대 세야지 진바탕이 지지게서 남지 뒤니 삼바지 지고지 거네 네 진바탕소는 상기를 살고야 추림 순주에 아니 남지 뒤니 그 삼바지 지고지 이래 때문에 추림 순수나 상기 그룹이야. 대티 디나시 셔바트 강로라 되봐. 어디에서 이렇게 수구주지 해야 되지.
So then how can 6 parameters be causes of our the enlightened state, the 2 bodies of the Buddhas, the Dharmanakaya and Rupakaya, that means the form body and the truth body. Okay. So when we practice similar, it's very similar to normal practice of general. We have 6 parameters like practice of generosity, and practice of morality, practice of patience, and practice of effort, joyful efforts, and practice of meditation. These are the first 5 the parameters. These 5 parameters becomes the substantial causes of our the Rupakaya or the form body of the Buddha. Yeah. It's very similar. So in order to achieve human form, so we need to practice the practice of morality. So practice of morality to enable us to obtain higher rebirths. And then the higher rebirth is not efficient enough, so we need wealth in order to sustain our life, right? So then we need to do a practice of generosity. So practice of generosity actually enable us to have wealth and better life, wealth instead of that, right? And then that is also not efficient, so we need the reliable companion or the friends and so on. Even though we have a human body, so we need that friends surrounding you. So in order to have that, so we need to practice patience. Patience actually enable us to gather the reliable friends and then friends and the loved ones. Right? So then the next 2 are effort and the meditation. Effort is actually requires all the time. Even though when you practice of generosity, you need effort, practice of effort. And then when you practice morality, you need effort, practice of joyful effort, effort. Yeah. And when you do the practice of patience, you need that. And then the next one is the meditation. So meditation is here refers to being your mind on that positive state. So when you do a practice of the practice of generosity, so you should not uh, uh, contain any negative sense, negative thoughts in your mind. So you remain in positive sense or positive mental state. So that is called samden or the meditation. So same thing applies to the Buddha. So Buddha, of course, we need to gain Buddhahood is very holy body. So in order to gain that kind of holy body, you need to practice of the what's it, morality. The practice of morality. So then that body has all these beautiful the what do you call this attributes. Yes, attributes and all these nice the what do you call things, right? So that requires the practice of generosity. So practice of generosity, and I will ask to get all the qualities of every the positive or the virtuous attributes of the Buddhas. Yeah. So then the being a Buddha is not efficient. So Buddha all constantly teaches to their disciples, constantly teaching all the time, right? So that requires disciples. So disciples, like a disciple will be bodhisattvas and stuff like that. In order to have that kind of disciples, gather disciples, we need to accumulate causes, conditions for that. That will be practice of patience. Yeah? And again, same thing, the practice of effort and practice of the meditation applies the same thing.
다 그것을 가르쳐주래. 짐박이 수구를 다한테 짐박을 농주 연구해봐. 아란도 짐박 단수는 농주 때 단대 농주 수수도 농주 연야티 집에대 위에서요. 제선에 아니 디나시 상기의 사이 농주 표수 초바티 짐발을 때는 연구야. 다티티 짐발은 로야기 짐바디랑 짐바타야티 상기의 사이 아니 노지 표수 초바트비야라 가르코레스는 자주고 생기는 거. 이제 탐지 그 상기 상기 주고만 탐지기 삼배 신니 짐바탄수는 이게 말한주 치마 논주 이용야를 줄에 두게야리 상기의 상기 논주 표수 초바트에 줄에 두게야리 다 짐바티 제비나
So now, how can practice of generosity becomes causes of our the what you call this, the form body of the Buddha? Okay, our future form body of the Rupakaya. So the we said that Buddha is fully equipped with enjoyment experiences, right? Experiences. So if you want someone decides to become a Buddha, so you have to accumulate right causes for that kind of enjoyment kind of experiences. Yeah. So this cause will be practice of generosity. So then the practice of how can we make that practice of if you do a practice of generosity, how can make that actually the right cause for that kind of result, the enjoyment experience of the Buddha. So then, in order to do that, so you have to have a bodhicitta. You have to carry out a practice of generosity with bodhicitta intention. If you do that, that practice becomes the right causes for that. Otherwise, if you just do the practice of generosity, even though that is a practice of generosity, if you not intend to help entire sentient beings, if you don't have the intention of bodhicitta, so then that just practice doesn't become the right cause for that kind of result.
that chudim sunyati kana chudim soju soju bapala teni soju bata 아니 소주바 로임 아니 디네지 롱주 그랬어
주름다 주름.
아니지 그래서 그래
이게 지금 왜 주셔?
디지에서는 소주바 봐 마지발엔 봐 어떠시 제발을 때는 다 상기를 사이 수표수조바 단지 구표수조바 두야 또지 슈딩이 지게야 아람도 전적을 위해 토야데 또디 슈딩이 제발바 이 제발 예산데 다더니 전주부 셈지 심베 거네 아니 슈딩디 그나 소주를 밤바이나 소주 밤에 슈딩디 순바이나 상기게 사이 아니 소부두비야기 길루두비야기 우수 상기 소부두비야기 길루두비야리스 말한지 주팀디 응원들 중에 주팀 내신에서 응원들 거반디 주팀 때는 그거 인체 버봐 디나시 상기 아니 수그 거반디 수부디 근데 또 주팀 때는 그거 어디에서는 주팀 되긴데서 때나 지다하는도 자주에 semane 주팀이 아버 소는 것도 거바토도 그러봐 다 지난해 자주 sem소는 상기기 소부죽지기 기부주고 해야 돼 주팀이 어디에서 주팀은 해야 돼
So again, apply same idea to the other practices. For instance, if you take example as a practice of morality. So again, so morality refers to, for instance, the restraining from 10 non-virtuous actions. So 10 non-virtuous actions are killing, stealing, sexual misconduct, and so on. There are 10 of them. Right, 10 of them. Restraining from 10 non-virtuous actions is called practice of morality. So then and also the practice of morality becomes the main cause of our rupakaya, or the form body of the Buddha. Okay, so this serves as a main causes for that. So then in order to gain the holy body of Buddha, so you have to practice morality. Morality actually becomes the main causes for holy body of Buddha. So then the restraining from 10 non-virtuous actions means, so there are practices, you can do this kind of practices, we do also this kind of practices, practice of morality or the restraining from killing and 10 non-virtuous actions. So whether they become right causes for the causes for Rupakaya or the form body of the Buddha or not, so it depends on how your intentions are. Okay. So if your intention is a bodhicitta, so you're thinking about all the sentient beings, doing it for all the sentient beings, so then that actually becomes the right causes for that kind of result, the form body of the Buddha. Otherwise, we do have this kind of practices. If you do it out without that kind of intention, so they can actually become a right cause for your human rebirth, but not for the body of the Buddha.
다때는 소박이 아니 수구주질 그래한테 제단 소박이 수제버티에 수레들이 상기기 사이 통남 미팅과 수 통내야 미팅을 내가 가와이야지 지금 수구주주야 봐. 제 통남 미팅을 내버티 수레들이 봐. 이 코르프숨 소베티 수레들이 봐. 그래서는 콘도라인들 앉아서 밑에 보시면 차도가 아니 콘도 세바 콘도이나 아니 수 밑으로 내려지는 데 세바티 수이도 맞고야 배 믹스 통내야 갈라나요야지 아니 상기기 사이 통남 밑에 수 통남 고수 통남 밑에 내려지 아니 가르치고에 또 서바기 두고야. 다 코르 표준 저거디에 서바기 두고야. 그래서는 하나도 컨트롤 사고지는 미 가부지는 요리요 두고가 요리요 두고리 그래서 지단 서바 군예 지 서바야 군예 지인들이지네 이쪽이 거단 론디 제바데 전에 대부 연구를 봐 아니 조금만 보 연구를 봐 미 컨트롤 잡아들지는 조금만 보 연구를 봐 대상 콜프스 저바데 서바게 제부데 제상 서바게 제부들이 인도가 수 제바데 상기 구수데 제바데 서베 차르지 콜프스 저바데 서바게 제부르지 어디에서는 서바데 상기 사이 좀 구주지 돼야 되는데
So then the third one, the practice of patience, how that can actually becomes the right causes for Buddha's form or Rupakaya, is that the nature of the Buddha's body is very beautiful, sort of like beautiful, attractive. Yeah? If you have power, if you have an ability to see Buddha's form, so then each of every single atoms has a quality to give you a pleasure, okay, ease or a pleasure. There's no aspect of any negative on that body. So then any even like atom like it, so there's no, it will not give you an effect of negative effect, sort of like a negative effect. It always gives you a positive effect out of that kind of body when you have, when you can see it. Yeah. So this is also a result of the practice of patience, because when we look at the practice of patience, so practice, if you be patient with people, patience with your difficulties and so on, so then you will look better, right? Look better. Instead of doing that, if you get angry at other people, and angry yourself, so then that actually changes your appearances, and so it becomes very ugly. So similar like that, it has the same effect. If you do the practice of patience, so that actually creates a very attractive physical appearance on your body, yourself. Right? So similar like that, it has similar kind of effect on Buddha. So because of their pure or completed practice of the practice of patience. So they have obtained or they have achieved very beautiful or attractive form that some you will never give any negative effect out of that body if you have eyesight that kind of form. Okay? This will be the one result of the practice of patience. Okay? Once you have that kind of attractive body, so then and similar like so in normal life, let's say, so if you're being patient, so you will likely have more friends, and then your friends will be more comfortable coming forward to you and be with you instead of that, right? And also when you become a Buddha, so then since you have that kind of attractive body, so it's very easy to gather disciples. A disciple can gather very easily, and disciple will be at that moment, disciple will be the all bodhisattvas. So bodhisattvas will gather and be your disciple very easily because of your that kind of attractive affection kind of body, right? But physical appearances. So then so these are this is how actually becomes this all this practices becomes the substantial causes of our enlightened Buddha's form or Rupakaya.
다데 다 준주 신예티 짐발에 구비야리 짐바 땅을래 짐바 동안라 쪼가지고 봐 정간 결력 쪼아오스 겨와티 짐바티 겨와르바 짐바 동안라 쪼아티 준주 시게 인제 심주티라 짐바 동안라 쪼베 랑도기 쪼베 심주티라 준주 시게 네 짐바 땅에 디코비야리 shooting to the shooting songala, any joy, any watch could be a man, shooting sumar, shooting sungala toa kugiyale. Ani sabakumala toa chikugiyale. Junju tusu. Ani kangulwale jimbe korto ye junju chiyale. Ani chudungu korto chudungu yale. Akarasa junju yale. Jabe korto junju rere yale. Toa rere. Tinena. Ani sabakumbu mari jimbatangu mari. 네 shooting sumbu marwa. Wati yesane chunju chi ani tituwe karasubure. Sanji du subu tuji shaya di paji tambu na shasuna. Wati chunju chi chunju yati tiri.
So the next one is practice of patience. So again, practice of patience has to be incorporated with all the other practices. Yeah? So it has to be incorporated with practice of morality, practice of generosity, practice of patience, and so on. So the practice of patience or the joyful effort, something they call joyful effort. So joyful effort or practice of patience means no, sorry. The joyful effort. Sorry, I'm mixing two things. I'm sorry. Right now we are at joyful efforts. Okay, efforts. Okay, joyful efforts. So we call it joyful efforts because we are looking at a resultant kind of state, or we have a goal in our mind. Okay, so then you know the nature of your goal or nature of your resultant state. You know, go either one, right? Also, you can and you understand that now once you able to achieve that goal, once you able to reach that kind of state, so then you will get a lot of benefits. So you're looking at that aspect, okay, benefit aspect of your goal. So when you understand that, so then you will easily put effort to gain that because you are desire to gain that kind of state or that kind of goal, right? To obtain that kind of goal. So in order to get there, you need to go through some kind of process. So then you are willing to undertake any difficulties or any task because you know once you reach there, you will gain better. You will be better in that place. So this is called joyful effort. You're looking at the resulting state of the goal, so that there's very visible, attractive to you. So you are decided to gain that goal. So then when you put effort, that's called joyful effort. So you're enjoying at the result, and then you're willing to go forward towards that. That's why it's called joyful effort. That requires to all the other practices. Even though if you practice morality, so you are looking at the resulting state of that, and you're willing to pursue, towards that kind of, you know, goal, right? Same thing for the practice of morality, practice of generosity, and practice of patience.
Then someday the Koya Kares something said the somebody which is here, somebody temper. Kind of mix the Tilla, Tiki Varicilla, something here. Then it is Chimbaton at the Tina, Tiki Vachikore Michu Chimbatanguina, Tangumenas, Jenny, some Tetum Chevina, Zingi Vasilo, Tanguina, Tangumena. Oh, the thing is never Jenny. Yes, Chimbatangu is some Tiki Vachikore. There's some dance you did. Thing is that some dance said to Chibare, thing didn't say the Karasule, Chichibachi last year. Some but temples and enter. Thing it is in the thing city. Something if I deliver Jupiter, that Chichibachi. Just some day the yellow we are Chimbatan, the Chimbatanguina membrana. Chayena Marina says Tedum sat and Chimbatang Marva. Imagine situate somebody yari. Children sung at the each in a yari. And it's situate somebody yaya Kunapen singing to Verva. Chita was situate yari. Nothing is singing. 개와 춘주지고 코드 되는지 유효시게 유니 나서야지 다들
So the next one is called the meditation, perfection of meditation. Right? The perfection of meditation means remaining your mind on one object. It's literally that means like remaining your mind on one object. Samden, okay, samden. Meditation. I don't know how it actually works with meditation, English meditation. Anyway, samden means that remain. Okay, so remaining your mind on one object. And another word in the Tibetan we have like saying like semte chipa. Semte chipa means sem means mind, se means tip, chipa means one single tip mind, sort of like. So,
Single point.
yeah, single we call single pointed. Yeah, that means so single pointed. Okay, I'll say single pointed. Single pointed mind. Single pointed mind. When you say single pointed mind or the remaining your mind on one object, that means free of doubts. Okay, that means free of doubts also. So when we do practice of generosity, so sometimes we may think like whether I should do this practice or not. Does it really has any benefit out of that? So we have a lot of doubts, right? So then when you do this kind of practices, for instance, practice of generosity, you should do it without any doubts. So you need to understand, you need to study well, regarding all the subject and stuff like that. Your mind should be free from any doubts when you do this practice. Yeah? So that becomes the practice of single-pointed or single-pointed kind of practices. Same thing you apply to the practice of morality. Morality, so you will think like whether it has benefit or not. It has all this practice has to be free from any doubts. Okay, so something remaining your mind on one object, the highest form of that kind of something or the meditation mind or the ability is called samadhi. Samadhi. Okay, samadhi. Yes, samadhi. So in English, they call it single pointed concentration. Now it comes. Okay. Single pointed concentration or samadhi. This will be the highest form of perfection of meditation. Yeah. There are many levels. So. And also, let me say, when you do a virtuous practice or when you have virtuous intention, that virtuous intention comes with secondary mental factors. One of them is the what do you call this? The 융잉가 되는 가르에 the temba 말을 갔어. 땡이지. Yes. 땡이지 means concentration. Okay, concentration. So one of the mental factors is called concentration. This is actually meditative kind of state.
다들이 다 시럽디 다 시럽디 같이 추구도 지레서 추구스데 나 조디 추구디 이시 추구다 뭐니고 스니여봐 틱디 돈이도 시럽디 이시 추구지 아니 딘지 바자데 저 빵베 아니 빵바텔라 뭐니고 스니여 빵바 돈이 빵베다 고데 지여봐 딜라 아니 뭐니고 스니여 뭐니고 그거라 돈이도 베시럽고 빵이 반지는 빵으로와 반지는 빵보다 마리바 빵보다 아니 돈이도 베시럽도 빵고 그래서 마리바 빵샤티 돈이 조디 돈이도 베시럽고 그게 다 조치셔 아니 돈이도 생기게 세 돈이도 베시티 돈이도 베시럽고 말았던 그거야 어디 추구디 시를 가질 때는 추구 그게 이시추구디 돈이도 베시럽
돈이도 베시럽고
뭐니고 가르쳐
니모가 방차
방법
Nemo bang 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 siya.
생긴사의 방법지어가 그런
Di tongi to bishara to shawa.
아
Bishi chugudi tongi to bishara shawa.
생긴사기 누이도 비시를 주어봐
Okay, so the Dharmanakaya. Dharmanakaya, how do you translate that in English? Do you use the truth body? Is this truth body? Looks like actually the truth body. You call it truth body in English. Truth body or the Dharmanakaya has two forms, right? For me, it seems like one of them is the truth body, and another one is called wisdom body.
Yeah, it does have two.
Dharmanakaya, I don't know. You call it truth body. Maybe it could be truth body, but it is truth body though. Anyway.
Yeah.
Dharmanakaya. Okay, I'll just use the Dharmanakaya. Okay, to cause a little confusion.
추구 그걸 했으면 게
만약에 이 인지가 줄여야죠.
안에
인용으로 써도 돼. 특히 유교 방향만 싫어. Anyway, so the last, the perfection of the wisdom, perfection of wisdom actually serves the main causes for our Dharmanakaya. Okay, truth body or Dharmanakaya, right? So Dharmanakaya has two aspects. Again, it's a Dharmanakaya has two aspects. One is called truth body, truth body, and the wisdom body. Okay. So because the mind of the Buddha has two qualities, sort of like two qualities. One that perceives emptiness directly, okay, and that mind is actually a result of abandonment, okay, abandonment. Then they call it abandonment. I think abandonment means the truth body is result of abandonment. So abandonment means like this when this mind, the Buddha mind, is purely abandon any aspect of mental afflictions. Okay, so this is the resulting state of those abandonment process, abandoning all this stuff, right? All this mental affliction and the ignorance and so on. Okay, all of this. There's a one aspect, the abandonment aspect of that practice. Yeah, and the mind that perceives emptiness directly is also a quality of mind, right? Mind. So that's why we have two bodies. We call it wisdom body, and then the Dharmanakaya has two aspects. One is called wisdom body of the Buddha, and what you call this? Truth body of the Buddha.
다 되네 다 짐바디 다음에 짐바디 가르레스네 짐바디니 지다 짐바세티 렌다 나밀레 메레 또는 심바딜라 렌라야 메드 나밀레야 메드레 또는 심바디 다 지다 다 짐베 파지세르지 자 짐바 표준 저바지 담발라 렌레와 메바지 구비에리 나밀레와 메바지 렌레스도 파지 된 수지 연구의 삼사 제베이나 렌라레와 다시 저지마 네 로직 표준 저바지 연구의 삼 담베이나 나밀라레와 다시 짐바지 표준 저바지 땅에 있는 렌다 나밀레와 메바지 담 땅야의 땅서디 강에서 돌미네 단 이거단 땅서디 위에 등으로 지금 나기 위해서는 땅서디 위에 등이 세 또 담비고 왜 이래다 지바스미 때 지단 진보용 어디 또에 심바스리야 아 또에 심바스에 렌다 나미다 메레와 하르게 심바지레지 하루 불강의 세야를 또 민에 따서나 지바스게 지베다 지니스
Okay, so now what is the practice of generosity? I think I lost my voice. You can hear? Can you hear? Can you hear now?
No.
No? Okay. What happened? This is broken actually. I can't get last time.
The battery?
Is the battery dead?
Okay. No. No.
Maybe the wire.
Yeah, wire.
Wire broken.
Yeah, it's broken. That's why I think
Oh,
that broke. I don't know how.
too much use.
Maybe maybe I'm too loud.
I can buy you one.
Okay, maybe I don't need this. Okay. If you can't hear me, just let me know. Okay. Now, practice of generosity. So, practice of generosity, it means sense of giving. Totally talking about like mental attitude, how you think. It's not like an object or anything. So, willing to give, sense of giving. Sometimes they call sense of giving. Okay. It's called practice of generosity. And how can you make it perfected kind of practice of perfection of generosity? So that means it has to be free from two mental attitudes. So one is called like don't expect reward out of your practice. Okay. So lela chapa. There's two kinds of rewards you can expect. Okay. So anyway, so the reward don't expect in general. That means like don't expect and reward out of your practice. So one is sometimes when we do our practice of generosity. So if you give somebody something or give it to someone else, so do you expect something more from them? If you do that, that is actually you're expecting some rewards out of your practice. And then then sometime when we do a practice of generosity, we know the consequences of that practice. We know the what kind of like a positive result can gain out of this practice. So even if you expect that kind of results, that is called namingile. Namingile means the namingile means namil machaba. What you call this? Nami. Okay, I can't remember now. Anyway, so that means you are expecting something in the future lives. Okay, future lives. That kind of results is called naming. Naming is anyway, and forget. So you don't so you may think like if I do a practice of generosity in the future lives, I will be more wealthier and I get more position and stuff like that. If you expect that, that is not practice of perfection of perfection of generosity. Yeah. So there are two kinds. Like one you expect reward in this life, and one you expect reward in future lives. So if you are expecting something from that individual, whoever you're giving to you, that material, whatever object, right? So then this is you're expecting a reward in this life. So if you are willing to gain some kind of higher and a better wealth, wealthier in the future lives and stuff like that, you're expecting rewards in future lives. So when you do practice of generosity, so you just focus on that individual, whomever you're doing help. Okay? So what they need, what kind of help they need, just to give them some ease, give them some help on that regard, not any expectation from your practice. So then that becomes practice of generosity, perfection of generosity.
So 당석이 유의되게 강에 세야 제도스. 어디 진버디야람주 유명발라 당주들이 이 산절이 추가해야지 산절 강에 세야지 아마르바 산절 강에 세야 아마르다 또 심제 디지기 제도 담배이나 상 됐다니 심제를 디지기나 심제가 아니 영주유냐를 심제 탐지 같은 단수나 상길 표현의 진발을 추가해야지 Sanjay King say Yamari. Land the Tabale Matubati Chipache. Sanjay Kanga say Yamari. Never use any Chubati courage would say. Simjagi and pended to the chip. Tanya Jira. But the Indian surgery.
So this is actually practice when you do with lower beings, the lower beings. When we make an offerings to Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, these are actually practice of generosity as well. These are called like practice of generosity. But when we make an offering to them, Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, they really don't need help. They are, we cannot actually give them help. We cannot help them sort of like they don't need help. That's why they don't need help. So then, how can you think about it when you do the practice of generosity towards all these higher beings like Buddhas and Bodhisattvas? So then, when you do again, you should not expect any reward out of your practice of offerings and practice of generosity. Actually, practice of offering is also a practice of generosity. So then you should think that I'm doing it for entire sentient beings, for sentient beings, and in order to help sentient beings, you just bring up all these intention how you can help sentient beings and stuff like that. If you do that, that practice becomes again a perfection of generosity. Otherwise, if you don't have that kind of intention, even though this is a practice of generosity, but that is not a perfection of generosity.
That's 다 짐바 그런 거 어때 되래서나 다 짐바들 시야래 정신이 짐바 이미지 격기 짐바 잠배 짐바 아니 취기 짐바 아래 정신이 짐바 하지 취기 짐바 하지 이미지 격기 짐바 하지 잠배 짐바 하지 짐바 남시세 되래.
So again, giving or practice of generosity or giving, there are four things you can give to other beings. Yeah. So first one is called Sangsingi Jimba. Sangsingi Jimba means giving materials. Okay, practice of materials, and then the Kyabgi Jimba means giving protection, and giving love, and giving dharma. Dharmas. These are the four things you can give away, give to sentient beings. Yes, sir.
다 상승 짐바들 농주 동안다 뮤 동안다 농주 동안 스니에.
So the giving materials, there are two things you can give away. One, you can give your possessions, and one you can another one is you can give them your body. These are the two things you can give away.
다 류 동안들 네 내가 동안 때는 동안 니야.
So giving your body, there are two different kinds of like giving body for temporary and giving body for permanently, yeah, forever.
다 내가 동안한테 가르치는 랑 류지 차네 샹라 강에 이거는 샹라 강에 이거지 세 류지 차네 로버지야티 내가 동안에 류 내가 동안에 된도 다야 다 류기 침바 된도 다한테 대랑이 샤라로서부터 스제네 야 다야 쳐봐 이때는 담버리고 다티 많이 봐제 신강에 세야기 치도 아니 신데 랑이 아니 리지 차네 로바지야디 내급당하네.
So giving your body for temporary means when you help people and you use your body strength and you use your body force. So that is how you give your body for temporary people. Transporting one from the another, stuff like that. That kind of help. So this is actually giving your body for a temporary. So the permanently is if you giving to your body for permanently is giving someone your flesh, bones, blood, and stuff like that. It's a very extreme way. to give them just to please sentient beings. So that is giving up your body permanently.
다 상식이 짐버봐. 다 민집이 겹지 짐버봐. 다 민집이 겹지 짐버대. 안에 저래래 어떠냐. 저래 주부도 저래래 돼야 되게 저래래 돼야. 차장기 내가서 정의 집을 때 다 공개돼서 지 매집을 겹수는 차장기 뒤에 매집을 겹 취집을 겹 근데 차장기 집을 사회도서 사회를 때니 강에 채팅에 두수 사회들이 교도지야 다 장에 두수 장에 니 강에 채팅에 두수 장에 집을 교약지도 이제 야 내기 나로 두수 내기 집을 교약지도 당 제사
So the giving protections, okay, protection, giving protection. So the giving protection means saving lives, and then the rescuing animals and people and stuff like that, right? So the the for instance, if someone is being very cold, right? If you give them some heat, so then it is protecting from cold, okay, cold. And someone's like burning, right, hot, fire and stuff like that. If you rescue them from that condition, and this giving a protection from that kind of fearful experience. Okay? Heat and cold, right? And then and also if you help some patients and sick people, so then also this is giving protection. So protecting from their sicknesses and their pain. Okay. Okay. So then if you see someone is drifting away in like a water or river and stuff like that, so then if you save them from there, rescue them from that condition, so that is also giving protection. Okay.
다디 미집을 겹지 짐바지 다 잠배 짐바세 잠배 짐바세 잠바 꾸면 돼 심지어 던제 대화던데 뭐 교지 쓰네 그 잠배 짐바 가르치는 대화디 대화 당송아 심지어 던제 대화던데 뭐 교지 쓰디 그 땅이야디 대화디
So the next one is called giving love, right? Love. This love means helping sentient beings, helping them to encounter with their happiness. Okay. So when you do this practice, this is also a practice of giving, because when you wish all sentient beings may be happy or may cause us with happiness, so that means you're giving away your happiness to other sentient beings. And that's why it's called the practice of giving. You can give your love to sentient beings. Sure.
잠배 짐바레스네. 다데. 다 짐바디.
Sure.
다 취기 짐바세야디. 취기 짐바데야디. 지다 취 시제 지점 대수네. 삼바 넘버 답에군에 대수네 취기 짐바하게. 야, 뭐디 기베군에 지 랍자로 띵게 잡네. 아니 그 이지 삼불랍지 잡네. 아니 그지 지강을 해도 소리 제수네. 랍지 삼부팅게 잡네. 그래서 취지 마시게. 야수수기 디 가르치래 아니 순나 사무당 추비 지지 지수 제버든지 저 정갈을 때니 아니 그이 간주다 지대지도 전바데 아니 그도 신제 만부 예바 메바체 진짜 야리 신제 예바리 나는 좀 미국 맞으면 신제 만부 야르바 야리 신제 참모든 만부 야 아니 미만이 만부 야르바 또 술래야 이 텔비치도 아니 아니 순간 삼모든데 되었으나 이 취지 좀 버세게 나 기대 시민의 수술에 순간 삼모 나는 자니 군들의 팬도 지혜를 됐다 순간 삼모든데 자 근데 이제 지는 군들 암존이야 처벌을 지제서나 근데 그 취지 좀 버세게 또스 취지 좀 버티 만부야리
So then the next one is giving dharma. Okay, dharma. That means if you teach dharma teachings, right? Give dharma teachings with positive intention. So that becomes giving dharma. Yeah? And then sometime so you can give a piece of advice to somebody with good intention. So that can be practice of giving dharma also. Yeah, dharma. And then when we do daily practice, reciting sadhana and so on. So when we do practice, so if you think that there are many sentient beings surrounded to you, they are actually surrounded to you whether you see or not, but they are actually surrounded to you. So then you imagine that when you recite, when you read your daily practice like sadhana and so on, so imagine that they were able to hear you and they were able to understand your words and stuff like that. If you think about that, think that way, so that also becomes practice of giving dharma. Yeah, practice of giving dharma. And also helpless sentient beings like animals, they do not have an access to dharma teachings, but if you recite some mantras in front of them and let them hear the sound of the mantras, so that also becomes the giving dharma. So this is the only way. This is the only way they can get dharma. This is the only way they can get dharma teachings. So these are so that's why there are many types of dharma, giving dharma practices. The giving practice of giving dharmas.
어다 취 지버스 어다 취 지버 다디 지버 남시 세디들이 다 지버 세디 지버들의 남시도가 다디 다 지버 그나 냠술면 담바 중대시 지버 냠술 람바디 있잖아요 담바 두다 된다 거는 지버 땅야지 야 파지 두다 된다 거는 지버 그나라야 지베 지버 지베 추준 지베 셔바 지베 주주 지베 삼대 지베 시르스제니 지버 그나라 파지 두시규 뒤에서는 담바 중대시야지다 파지 중대시제지
So when we do practice of generosity, for instance, practice of generosity, so you can do practice of generosity incorporate with 6 supreme methods. Okay, they call it Dambatuke, 6 supreme methods, and also you can incorporate with 6 perfections. Okay, so 6 perfection is, for instance, like you can say like a practice of generosity, generosity of morality. How do you call it? Morality of generosity? Which way?
Yeah.
Generosity of morality or morality of generosity? You could, I don't know which way you go. Anyway, so you can incorporate with 6 perfections. So even though it's just a practice of generosity, you can have that practice of generosity complete with 6 perfection. Only even though it's like one practice, it can be a 6 perfection.
단데 다트게 네, 류동의 진바디, 류 때문에 동의 진바디, 그런 동반이 더럽지 마도나 땅도 매능체버리 동반이지 동반이 다와 진예수나 류 제네 땅야디 땅나 취기 바제를 두고야 말이 취를 두고야 봐. 이 마제는 네 취기 바제 친구를 왜 하는 게 알아. 이 땅소나
So then go back to giving your body. Okay, body. There are two kinds, temporary and permanently, right? So the giving your body for permanently is not recommended, and this is only so recommended for someone who has seen emptiness. Okay, if you have seen emptiness, so then giving your body will not become obstacles to your dharma practice, never actually cause problem in your dharma practice. Otherwise, if you do this practice, they can become a problem or they can become obstacles to your dharma practice.
어디
Okay, any questions? No question. Yes.
I've heard people say that different religions, you can still achieve the same result. Like it's like different, taking different planes to the same destination.
Okay.
But in the beginning, you were saying there's only one route here.
To become Buddha.
Up the 320.
Okay. They could do that too. Different name. This was lam says you're 저번에 람세디 호랑이 다 삼로다보다 미기는 거야라야 아나 출루신다라든지 제바이네데 수수기 따가디디 제바이나 상게 요레스 아니 고송스 딜레 상게 요레스 호랑이 이지지스 안쪽에 상게 세줘라 지지스 제가 거기다 람직바세디 라디sambalata 낭바 마시나 다 kalau 상게 매베소라 삼로르치 고르고 남바 제고 예베소라지 삼로르치 고르고 남바 민키네데 마키네도 바지 좋지는 뒤고 저지 차로 왔는데 저지
네 바지 두야리 짐바야르가 출루세다데 짐바야리 추두미야리 저바야리 순주야리 삼대야리 시럽야리
군주의 상기로 와서 상계 요르면서 저버직 람세 서발라다 낭발 마트 때나 마트 상계 요 말씀 좋게
바지 두 말한 것 저버지가 남서 탑신이 됐어요. 탑신이 매나 이 상계에 탑이야 말이지. 저버지 쓰리 탑신이부터 아니 상계의 살을 줘게 니 탑 직부터 탑신이부터 탑신이네 직 맞잖아. 상계의 살을 줘 말이지. 어떻게 돼?
So here it said only route or only method to become a Buddha. He's saying is like combining two methods. Combining two methods is the only method to become a Buddha. He's saying. Okay.
탑대시럽니 세야지 주로 신다게 시리 들어봐. 탑대시럽에서 탑세지도 시럽세야지. 시럽면은 내용 말봐. 인들이 탑세야지 자치를 줘라. 짐발라 수바지. 디리 내는 말봐. 다시다지는 산지 육고마 세야지. 남배시는
So of course, another tradition, another religions, they do have method, practice of method. They have to have, they have to have practice of method and practice of the what you call the wisdom. I must say that they have to have that two elements, right? But in according to Buddhists, we said that the only way to get there is six perfections. We call this kind of method, this kind of practices, six perfections. Okay?
야래 지로 신달래 야래 메사 물로 야복은 메사 이거 시지들이 야래 강글라 산직사를 좀 있어 내 야래 탑디 메사 물로 야복은 민가 주주들이 이거 신이들이 누가 그 산직사를 좀 있어 제네 이게 야래 and to Canadian does it.
But there's some tradition they believe that if you put on nice clothes, right, nice clothes, and suicide, right, sacrifice yourself, sacrifice yourself. This is the only way to get enlightened for them, right? That's totally fine with them. And we said only way to get enlightened is just perfection. This is different. Yeah, so they believe that if they die, they go to heaven or Buddha. We call Buddha, right? They call heaven. Same. Yeah, different traditions, they have different methods.
But that's not a valid method.
According to us or according to them? I don't know. For us, yes, it's not the right method. I'm just kidding. But they draw the lam takda maro asilo. 이 거기에 뭐지 콘솔 takda 이유를 안절 내내라.
콘솔 takda 이유를 치버려 봤다. 과제 내려받을 제지를 치버려.
Maybe I don't know, right? For them, they went somewhere. They gone somewhere. The only way to get there is whatever they aim for. I don't know. Yeah.
Can you give us some advice about joyous effort? We know our goal is enlightenment. It's so far away, so hard. Sometimes you get discouraged because you don't see that you get there, and it's hard to get joyous effort.
그렇디서 다다디 준주 세저라 준주 디직 송로셔 산 준주 나도 배나 차셔나 한다디 계획 준주 세저라 계획 준주 세저라 계획 준주를 가르 준주서 직 배송 가래
준주 되라
말 준주 직송 가래 계획 준주래 겔 또 준주 또 준주 세저 겔 또 세저라 또 세저 배나 코랑기 상게 디라타 두 삼발라야 타들야 타 쪼아기데 깨고 레사 데 요레사 근데 타링 타제 랑갈 두두 삼발라 삼서 센주 차고도사 어디 니 간다스 쪼아디야 간다스 요레스
야저 지 쪼아디 레터 쪼레
I'm saying that you need to go back to your original wish or your intention and overthink over again and again. Your goal. Think about your goal again and again.
Tombasange, keji tamusun so sarwa, san peberwa. Narandu jawam thoma nebane kangen nali, janjan jeni yombere. Jawam mampuchi kangen le seberwa, kangen le seni, debere. Jawapa tu nebeche. Tatini sample dosale ani kadi chi simshu cake kuya chirba ta kange ginadu kyo thang ni pachi kange nandu sweni deberba riba tati sample amtile riyat anna Nyamane, Kyo Tumame Baneta, the Patu, Kangin and Day, G. 텔레지 가르스 그래. 존 할아버지 민두가 맨다 상불람도 돌아. 겨와 같이 산지 집고가 두고이네. 다지. 또 그것도 상관없지. 좋아 제리부지 사르지 지구비야봐.
So the when we look at the Buddha story, it says he took 3 eons to become a Buddha, right? 3 eons, okay? When we say 3 eons, it's very like we feel like it's a very long time, right? Long period of time. Okay. So now you look at your own life, So we have been going through this cycle, limitless. Okay, like the numberless, sort of like numberless. Even if we don't come up with like a year, 3 years, numberless. Okay. During that period of time, we never felt like discouraged. We constantly put our effort to accumulate all this negative action, negative karma and stuff like that, right? So we put like a lot of effort to do that constantly, like limited, limited, countless eon. Okay, countless eon. Not only 2, not like. Actually, I don't know in English, but when we say in Tibetan, Tangme Sum, 3 countless, this is a number. It's not just like, what you call this? It's not like infinite. It's not talking about infinite. It's a number. 3 eons means number. So now we have spent our life for cycling this cycle for like limitless. Okay, now you compare limitless, right? Now it says, if you say, so we have been spending our time, we never feel like discouraged when we accumulate all this negative karmas and stuff like that, right? So now when we begin to do something good, right? Why you feel discouraged for that? For like only for 3 eons.
To do bad things takes no effort.
Okay. You think it takes no effort?
Yeah,
Okay.
we can just do
Okay.
it.
I don't think so. So for this one, Maimba Chialaya, Maimba Chialaya, Choma Gomendosa, Yantinusa. The Yakuji Chidu, Choma Shugo, some shoes, Choma Gudusa. To just yell at Choma Moga China, like it's Choma Gora.
진이살다 수수다 약두도가 저는 약두도가 그래. 약두 때문에 약을 준비를 좀 그래. 이 두고 민도가 약두도가 약두는 약부지에 준비 좀 그래. 다시 저는 신규야 말해서 그래.
Terms to tell yourself, right, that I have spent that amount of time on constantly. I was looking for happiness. Now I found the path. I find the right path and how to get there, but why I need to discourage at this time. Give yourself some encouragement or push yourself. Okay.
What about trying to be patient with other people? How to further realize that they can't help it. Like
You feel it, right?
yeah, well, for my own impatience, like how to really get it that other people just can't help it.
Really? Okay.
Like they're controlled by delusions, instead of being impatient.
Okay. 그런 디스 그런 때는 세번 검세죠라. 나 파주 미딜라 파세바 검세바 파주 미딜 세바 검 팬츠에 타이밍이 되었어다. 팬츠에 타이밍이 때 신이요 말서다 왜 어디를 지버렸어.
저밖에 되게 팬토비치도 말해. 수술 팬토비치도 궁금해서 그래야 돼.
Okay. Remember to say when you say practice patience,
yeah,
don't try to change others, change yourself.
Yeah.
저거 막 이제 콘도 지게 되는 수술 누구도가 수술 많이 기봐. 아니 이제 디가를 많이 기봐 마부 이거도가 콘도 전에 수술 누구야. 서바리 수소 핑계야. 데리 퍼줘대. 해맞았다고 말했어.
we so-called we have like a practice of patience. Practice of patience is meant to tempt, right? Tempt, right? Tempt, you go tempt, or the subdue your mind. This is the purpose, only purpose. Is that okay?
Yeah.
So when we get angry, we are not happy, we lose our mind, we go through all these kind of difficulties and stuff like that, right? This is the only reason why we do practice of patience, not to change other.
Yeah. That's good advice.
아, 서바꿈선에 콘도 제야겠지. 콘도 제야서는 서바꿈선에 내가 만부치 까차래. 강면 만부치 까차래. 해파 내 지기 때문에 양 콘도 never 지발 콘도 지기 때문에 내가 만부 되는 거 봐.
So remember, if you be patient with other people, someone who's angry, whatever reason, right? Angry, so you will be more happy. Otherwise, you'll be disturbed. Your mind will be disturbed and stuff like that. And if you try to fix others, right? Others, maybe you may use the wrong method. It may cause more problem, and you will get more upset.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Can you give some advice for those of us who have doubts? You're saying that you can't practice the perfection of generosity if you have doubts.
Benefit는 파진 두기 남는지 샘세지 보고래 세지 보고래 아니 태준 지죠 말해서 예지어로 되겠지 보고 제니 지죠 말해서 제가 배나 코로나에 참석 독과되는 랑선하사 이제 파진 두기 남는지 파진 두기를 독과되는 랑나 독과도 매번 간댔어 그래서 독과 코로나 같이 독과도 가리면 따주로 가리고 독과사
파지 둘이 근데 지발을 질렀다. 지발을 도바사서나 슬렸다.
So we said let's pick what kind of doubt, which is the first one, right? Let's say pick practice of generosity. If you have doubt on practice of generosity, what kind of doubt you can have?
지발을 도바사서나 따지. 지단 뒤야라. 지 지바제니 지 랑디 아마 자야기 치도. 셴 너버 지야기 치도 빠지. 로름 제스나티 지베리기야 말이 그 내지르바 내지 지기야르바 생기 강에 세야기 치도 말이 생기 강에 소야기 치도 담버르바 지베리기 말이 이 마제야리 생디 제베스르 산지 지야르바다 students just yeah shanty ke so le chibi ko ji ni chimbai le mari chimbai.
So then maybe you might have confusion like giving is not always good thing. I said I pick that up. Giving doesn't have always like positive impact or positive effect. Like if you look at that, let's say like if we contribute, your resources and anything to war, right? War.
Yeah.
But that is, this is giving. That's involved in some kind of giving, right? Giving. But that is not practice of generosity at all. I'm saying this is not a practice of generosity. Practice of generosity means meant to help other, but that is not helping other. Instead, it's harming to other. That's why we don't call that kind of contribution. Act of giving is practice of generosity.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, we'll stop here then. Sashi böge jungshi me to ta re ra lin shin min de yan ba de sang ge shin dong me de gu wa nam da jin la jia ba sho yi da guru ra na ma da la ba me ya ta ya mi
Chanju semjo
rin bo che ma ge pa nam ge yo ji ge ba nyang ba me ba kondo pe wa ra sho Korbe Shingandi Pendante wa Mali Ne Jeresiwa Taso Yi Shabe Site Pato Tenjuru Chi